Welcome, everybody, to the July 9th, 2024 meeting of the zoning board of appeals. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chairman. Mr. Himmel, Mr. Chin, Ms. Barry, and Ms. O'Brien, board members. Behind me, the head of inspectional services, Mr. Conlon, our clerk, Ms. Griffin, Mrs. Griffin, I'm sorry. If anyone has a cell phone or a page or whatever you got, just shut it off on vibrate. Don't take any calls. If anyone wants to talk, please step outside. Tonight's agenda. Oh, if anyone's going to speak tonight, could you please stand up and raise your hand? You have to take an oath if you're going to speak tonight. If you're not going to speak, you don't have to take an oath. But the people that are sitting down will not be speaking tonight. Mr. Chin, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matters now in hearing? Thank you.
Yeah. Could you read the old business?
Under old business, motion to accept and waive the reading of the minutes for regularly scheduled meeting of June 4th, 2024. And motion to accept and waive the reading of the minutes for the regularly scheduled meeting of June 18th, 2024.
Second.
Second on both?
Yes.
Anything on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. On old business, ZBA 2436, 78 Bellevue's here. We have not received nothing about the prints that you were supposed to have 2 weeks in advance about how you want that driveway
Sure.
ramp. You don't have it still?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When we left a couple of weeks ago from this hearing before this board, I was emailing in correspondence with Mr. Khan concerning, the permit which I received as well, what was actually issued that gave my client permission to pave. And the permit that actually did issue, as the board knows, was to install a driveway 28 by 28. Okay. On that,
I thought it was 2 4-foot walkways and a 20-foot driveway, a 28-foot driveway?
28.
And 2 4-foot sides, correct? Walkways.
it was a driveway of 28 by 28. That's the permit that was issued.
And then you had two.
It was strictly parking facility.
That's including the walkways. So it's 20 feet of pavement and 4 feet and 4 feet of walkways. That's right, okay. So, Mr. Duker, I think gave you that permit.
I believe, I don't know who.
I don't know, but.
Yeah, I don't know who issued.
You got it from the chief of price.
Okay.
So we asked why it wasn't done. You said, well, they just paved the driveway. Now you wanted to come back and see how you could get in there to fix this problem.
Yeah, so again, what was issued for parking facility, meeting driveway, what was issued was 28 by 28. I think when it was.
But it wasn't. It was
When it was
4-foot
inspected.
walkways with a 20-foot driveway. It's exactly what it was.
I don't believe that was what was applied for. It
All right.
was strictly for accommodation for a driveway to the new 3-car
All
garage.
right, so we got to look at the permits. Let's go look at the permits, see what it says. I think there was 2 4-foot walkways and a 20-foot in the permit. So I will look that up. We can read again. And what else would you like to say, Council?
The permit specifically says, area 28 by 28, all work is to be performed inside the sidewalk toward the 3-bay garage.
Okay.
So what was actually paved, I think, it was 25 feet deep from the garage to the sidewalk itself, which was within that permit. I believe it was about 29 and a half, the width of it, because it kind of sloped down, and that's the way the asphalt contractor did it. My client is completely agreeable and is able to do so, remove that 1.5 feet to comply. Now it will be 28 wide to accommodate the 3-bay garage and 20 feet deep from the garage to the sidewalk itself.
All right, I'm gonna go look at the original permits. And we'll show the board and we'll have the next meeting.
I believe I have the original permit here that was
That's
issued.
okay,
It was
that's okay,
issued.
I'll look at ours. Some of the stuff that was already back and forth with the DPW about who took down the tree, who didn't take down the tree, that took time. I'd rather look at our own original copy.
I-
So
I'd like
You were supposed to-
Mr. Conlon to say something. This was the permit that was issued.
Well-
I have the original permit that was
I'm-
issued here.
I asked you for information a week early. I've got nothing.
My feeling it was not necessary because
Okay.
All right. What was actually
So
issued
here's
for
my
a
feeling.
permit.
I'm not gonna deal with it tonight until July 23rd. Have a motion, please.
I'm trying to find out why that is.
That's.
We have
we'll tell you-
original-
we'll
we have
tell you the
original permits
23rd.
here.
How's that? 23rd, I will explain myself. Have a motion, please.
ZBA 2436, Steve Kedover, variance to widen the driveway and erect a cupola on the premise numbered 78 Bellevue Road, Quincy, Mass. Make a motion to extend to 7/23/24.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? And the reason, counsel, if you emailed us or something and said to our clerk, I believe I have all the answers that you don't need that. So I asked you to send it to the clerk. She didn't get
I was
it.
corresponding with Mr. Conlon as well. You know,
I asked you to send it to the clerk.
some of it's conveyed to your board as well. You know, we didn't have
He
to,
has a million
we didn't
things on
have
his
to, we
mind.
didn't have to
He ain't gonna
redesign.
sit there and write something to the clerk like that. He's talking to you about it, thinking the clerk's gonna get the information that you're gonna
But you
give
were
him.
looking for a redesign and we didn't need to do that. Because we have a 28 by 28 permitted driveway.
And I say it's not. I say it's 22 4-foot walkways. That's what I'm saying, was originally supposed to be given to you. So anyway, we'll decide this on the 23rd. Further into new business. SDR 24-2, Wayman Chan for a special permit to operate a short-term residential rental on the premises 2931 Taylor Street. Is the applicant or representative here? Name and address, please.
And one being chair, 29 Tyler Street. I'm the son, so I'm helping to interpret if needed.
Okay, name,
My name is Charan Z,
address,
29 Tyler Street.
okay. Why don't you explain to us what you want to do?
So basically, we are hoping to, so we have a two-family house, and then we live there together. We have 2 spare rooms. We're hoping to convert to short-term rental so that it helps covers the mortgage a bit more. My dad is getting older, he's less able to work long hours, so hopefully, that'll subsidize some of.
You're gonna have 2 separate rooms or 1 room?
Oh, two separate rooms. So it's a two-family house. Right now, we currently, me, my sister, and my mom, we live on the 2nd floor. My dad lives on the 1st floor, but then there's still 2 more bedrooms. That's just
On what floor?
1st floor.
First floor. Is that under 38? Oh. I had no questions. I looked at all your bills and stuff, you proves that you own the house. Any questions?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay.
Great,
You
thank
can
you.
have a seat. Does anyone speak in favor? Short-term rental? First call, second call. Third call closed, nothing from the ZBA? From the- no, Okay, is there anyone opposed or undecided? Want to speak? First call, second call, third call. DPW reviewed the project, have no comments. All right, make a motion, I guess.
New business, STR 24-2, Wei-Ming Chan for a special permit to operate short-term residential rental on the premise numbered 29/51 Tyler Street, Quincy, Mass.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Congratulations. Further on to tonight's agenda. ZBA 2441, 17 Curtis Street, Hill Hill. On the right, Joe, I'm sorry. For variance to construct an enclosed entry porch on the premises. Name and address, please.
Ismail Olaraju, 17 Carter Street, Quincy, Mass.
And why don't you explain what you want to do?
So we are looking to build an enclosed porch at the
Yep.
front of the house. It is going to be, so currently the front setback is at 13.2 feet. With the enclosed porch, it would bring it to about 8.5 feet. So the enclosed porch as, it's essentially in the current location where we've got the front.
The
entrance
stairs
there.
now?
Correct.
Yeah, you just want to close in the top so you can get out of the weather before you get in the house.
Correct.
And your neighbors kind of have the same idea, most of them are on your neighborhood. I have no questions. Any questions?
No question. No questions yet.
No questions.
No, at this time.
Now, you can have a seat. Does there anyone want to speak in favor? Anyone? First call, second call? Third call closed. Anything from DPW? They reviewed the above project and have no comment. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, second call, third call closed. Make a motion, please?
CBA 24-41. Olan Roju.
Yeah.
Is that good enough?
As long as you say yeah.
To construct and enclose an entry.
We tried,
on the
we tried
premises.
hard.
17 Curtis Street, Quincy. I make a motion to approve.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Congratulations. Thank you.
You don't have to say if you want to go.
You can go. Yeah.
We are
It's cool in here.
Come on back.
On back. CBA 2442, Thomas Williams, for variance to construct a two-story addition, increase in the property from three-bedroom to four-bedroom, increase in the parking requirements on the premises numbered 6 Wambach Street, Quincy. Name and address?
Thomas Williams, 6 Wambeck Street, Quincy, 02171.
Why don't you tell the board what you want to do?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Thomas Williams. I'm accompanied here by my wife, Angelica Rivera.
Can you speak up just a little?
Yeah, our property is a single-family residence, partially a two-story building located in a residential A zoning district on a 3,920 square feet corner lot. The front facade faces Shepherd Street and is flanked by Wambeck Street. We're seeking a variance from the existing zoning ordinance based on circumstances of hardship. Additionally, we're seeking a variance from the off-the-street parking requirements due to our proposal to increase the property from a 3-bed to a 4-bedroom. Currently, we have private parking for 2 cars in the driveway, which is more than adequate for our needs as we have 1 vehicle and there is off-street parking as well. Being a corner lot with frontage on both Shepherd Street and Wambeck Street, the property lines are kind of asymmetrical, making it impossible to construct the addition in compliance with the current setback requirements. Our property is surrounded exclusively by residential, single-family, 2-story homes. And our proposal, if accepted, would align the front of our property with the other properties on Shepherd Street. The current structure including the basement, consists of 1,439 square feet of living space with 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. However, 2 of the existing second floor rooms are quite narrow, measuring approximately 7 by 9 feet, so 63 square feet roughly each. Our aim is to add a total of 500 square feet to the front of the 2-story segment of the property facing Shepherd Street. This addition would extend the room on the first floor and the 2 upstairs box rooms out an additional 10 feet. We also propose to include an ensuite bathroom in one of the upstairs rooms. Both my wife and I, we work from home 5 days a week, and we use 2 of these rooms as offices. Additionally, our parents will periodically travel from Ireland and Colombia to help us with our 12-month-old, so we could greatly benefit from the additional space. If approved, the proposal, as I said, would increase the total living space to 1,939 square feet, more than sufficient to comfortably accommodate our growing family. And in conclusion, we do not envisage that the addition will in any way negatively impact the neighbourhood's character, the light, or the property values. We discussed the proposal with our adjacent neighbours, who are quite friendly with us, and we've not heard any concerns thus far. So thank you for your consideration. Please let me know if you have any questions.
My whole thing is, why didn't you go up on the front of the building? Why don't you go up on the front of the building and carry it right through?
Yeah, that's potentially something we could do. I take it's the way, like, the building was
I mean, it's
built.
taking up yard space you don't have. You don't have any yard space, you have no way to go. You know, you're supposed to have 25 feet over there.
That's,
I mean, it's, you try to move it a little bit, we're just, I mean,
the only thing I would say maybe is that we're taking it out 10 feet in the front facade, but it would align, it would basically all the properties on Shepherd Street on our side of the road. I do take your point about the side of the building, that kind of addition, bringing it up onto the second floor, but the way the building is designed, that would be above the kind of kitchen area. You'd have to include the kind of stairs space, hallway, which you'd lose space. And because those two box rooms upstairs and the small room, they're quite narrow, they're only 7 feet. We couldn't
I mean, you got a 3,700 foot lot. When you bought it, it's a teeny lot.
Oh, it is.
It's a starter house, I mean, really, I get it, and I'd like to help you some. Personally, I think there's a better way to do it than that, but those are the only questions I have, why you didn't want to go up in front. Is there a reason? Is there any reason?
No, there's no particular.
Just the cost, maybe?
Potentially, I didn't look into the cost, but I think it was just the way the design, to me, made sense, but I take into account what you're saying about it being a small lot.
It is, it's 3,700 square feet, trying to do the best you can for it, but, it's kind of tough. Anything, Mr. Hammond? Questions?
Is there any way to get more parking? You're required to have 3.
Yeah, there is a potential way, yeah, there's a little kind of garden frontage at the side of the house on Wambeck Street that could be removed and replaced by a parking spot if required.
We didn't have that.
And you're just gonna eat over the yard up though, I mean,
Right,
that's-
but
Yeah.
if you didn't have that side of the yard,
yeah,
you could pull the block in the driveway.
could extend it, yeah.
I don't know. Mr. Chin, any questions?
Well, I agree with you that it's a shame that, you know, it's going to use up the rest of the yard there. I always thought it was less expensive to go up than to go out. You know, foundational.
If it holds it,
purposes.
yeah.
If it holds it, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I agree with the comments, so.
thank you. Got any questions?
No additional comments.
Yeah, I'm good at this time.
All right. You want to hear from the neighbors?
Do I want to hear?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
can do it.
you can have a seat.
Okay.
Is there anyone want to speak in favor? First call? Second call? Third call closed. Oh. We reviewed the above project and have no comments. That's from the DPW. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, second call, third call closed? No one here to complain, no one to speak from. I just don't like it. I just don't like taking a side yard with a small yard like that. It's just too small. I'd like to see a different plan, something straight.
Maybe go up.
Go up in the front and put it all together and make a bigger house. And it's one house, and it'll look so much better than a little chunk, a double chunk, and double chunk inside the house. Make it look better for the neighbors too, and it would just be a better project. I know, I just can't vote for that.
Yeah, we got 3,700 square foot lot. It's not the best design I've ever seen. You're right, why can't you go up front or go up,
Go up and straight back.
so up and
And
back?
fill it
yeah.
right out. And if you gotta go a foot or two to match the side, even, make it bigger.
So as this is presented, I would not be in favor.
Likewise.
I'd love to see a redesign where we can give them the square footage with a different plan.
Okay. If you could step forward, please. What we have is, the board's not in favor of the petition you have. Now, we can put this off for a couple months, so you can get it redrawn, maybe something else. But if you don't want to do it, just let us know, but we'll give you a date in August.
Okay.
And that'll give you, do you need it at the end of August?
Yeah, in the end of August works, yeah. In all likelihood, we'll probably go back, replan and build up from the front,
Okay.
carry
let's,
the recommendations.
Right, let's,
So this
Whatever, the sooner the better, but I'll defer to you guys.
All right, let's see what we can get you. First meeting in August, maybe you can get it done. That's 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Is that enough?
I should be
Get the
there.
plans done, everything, talk to your neighbors?
Yep.
Okay. You have to have them to us at least a week and a half before the meeting. I'd like them 2 weeks if I could, but
Okay, so
I
end of
don't know if you
July.
can do that.
Yeah, I'll get on it straight away.
Okay. Make a motion for August, what is it, 9th? 13th.
813, ZBA 2442, Thomas Williams, a variance and construct a two-story addition, increasing the property from 3 to 4 bedrooms, increasing the parking requirements on the premise numbered 6 Lombard Street, Quincy, Mass. Make a motion to extend to August 13th, 2024.
Second.
On the motion,
Aye.
seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. August 13th, we will see you. What is
Thank you for your
that?
time.
Oh, pen, what is it, 2 pens? The freaking thing ain't writing, what the hell kind of pen is it? Have fun. August.
Oh, yeah, it's strange. We get to it probably different on to it.
TBA 2423, manual paper for a variance to construct a 2-story residential dwelling with attached 2-stall garage. Upon completion, demolish the existing residential dwelling on the premise number 10 St. Germain Street. Applicant or representative here.
Right.
Good morning, my name is Manuel Paiva, acting as the agent for the owner, Dale Hossman, who is here tonight with us.
Address, please? You're right.
My address is 20 Varsity Place, Bridgewater, Massachusetts. The property owner has resided at this location for the past 16 years. His home was constructed in the late 1800s based on city records. It's only 1,100 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1.5 story. His existing house is currently positioned 20 feet from the front street and 4 from the left side. Both setbacks of existing dwelling do not meet current setbacks, therefore pre-existing non-conforming. The proposal is to demolish that house and then build a new home further back on the lot. The owner would love to enjoy the benefits of his 320-foot long lot towards the water line, similar to any of the homeowners along that waterfront. The proposal is to construct a 2-story dwelling, 1,181 square feet, with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1 half bath, and it would have an attached 2-stall garage at 720 square feet, 12-foot deep deck on the first floor facing the water line, and a 10-foot balcony on the second floor. From the master bedroom, there'll be no roofs on these balconies, so visibility through them is allowed. It'll remain as a single-family use. The architecture of the proposed dwelling, which you can see down here, will be in harmony with the neighborhood. This will be facing the street, and this is facing the side. Those are part of the filed plans. It will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Actually, will increase the neighborhood. And in the record, you'll see that there was 4 letters in favor submitted to this board on this application. And what I did to help understand where these neighbors are from, hopefully you can see this from there. So when you read those letters in favor, green represents the existing lot. This is the parcel. And these are all the neighbors that wrote letters of support, just to give you a visual where they are relative to the parcel. The house to the direct north, 4 St. Germain Street, the owner has resided there for 3 years. The home was built a year ago, so they moved in, built a new house. The property to the direct south, 20 St. Germain Street, the owner has resided there for the past 7 years, and the home was built in 2006, 18 years ago, obviously prior to the owner picking up that house. So the reason we're in front of the board tonight, we're seeking 2-dimensional variances from this board. The first variance is a side yard setback where 13 feet is required We meet the 13 feet to the bump out of the chimney. We meet 15 feet to the back of the house. The only reason we're here in front of you is the bulkhead to the basement jets out from the back of that house, and we're only able to meet 9.7 feet. So we're looking for a 3.3 foot side setback, and that is right here. So I'm calling it left, looking from the street. This would be the right side, my bad. So we made it to the house, to the bump out. It's that bulkhead. There will be a full basement here. Reason we are requiring this variance, the lot is only 53.67 feet wide in the middle, which is pre-existing non-conforming again, where in the zoning code, it should be 85 feet wide. If this lot was 85, we wouldn't be asking for that variance. We thought about where we could put that bulkhead around the house somewhere else, and it really needed to be at the back of the house. So that's the first setback variance. The second setback variance we're requesting is from the front yard. You have a minimum and maximum. You have 25-foot minimum or 55 max. We are requesting an 84-foot front yard setback, which would equate to 139 feet from the road to the house. And the reason for this is if we met that 55-foot setback, we would be essentially building the home in an alley. It would be shadowed by the two neighboring houses. So what we did was I looked, and you can see in this one here. So the 5 houses to the north of the parcel and 5 houses to the south all have the homes close to the waterfront. So if I was to draw a line to and take an average setback, that's where we're proposing this home is right between 4 and 20. So if I drew a line, that's where we're proposing the house, which is no different than what you see up and down the property. We initially had the home closer to the waterfront, but we pushed it back 10 more feet in consideration of the 2 direct butters,
Direct butter to the south.
north and south.
Right, the south.
But you're right, sir, it's specifically to the south one.
Hold up. The direct abutter to the south, your porch and their porch, are they lined up,
Yes, sir.
both of them?
Yes, sir.
That's my main concern,
Okay.
that you don't put it forward, take anything away from her. If your porch and her porch are the same, then
Yes, sir.
you get the same view.
The home will be in harmony with all the neighbors relative to architecture style. Again, will increase values in the neighborhood, not adversely impact the neighborhood. The last consideration would be if these 2 variances were granted tonight, if there could be a condition of approval that the homeowner is allowed to live and reside in the house as it sits, because this new one could be built without demolishing that first one. Once you get the certificate of occupancy from the building inspector to occupy that house, move over and have 60 days to demolish this existing house.
Yeah, I would think that if the board would go along with it, I want a $25,000 bond, so if you don't tear it down, we tear it down.
Okay. And that is my presentation, short and sweet, if you have any
Here's
questions.
my question, why can't we move that whole thing 2 feet to the other side?
2 feet to
Yeah, you
the,
still got 13 feet over there.
you're talking about to the
Move
left,
it north,
to move it north.
2 feet.
Move it towards lot 10.
And that'll bring you to 13, like, you got 15-1 at the corner of the house, that'll be
Correct.
13-1, it's 2 more feet away from her house, that gives you, you know, you got 11-7, you're almost 12 feet, you're only a foot off.
You would still need a variance though to that bulkhead,
And I understand that, sir.
okay?
What I'm asking is, can you move this whole house over 2 feet?
Yes,
That's the question, that's the answer I was looking for. So, and then you're not as much, you're not as close to the neighbor either, you give her a couple more feet.
from north to south
Better,
would be
the better, right, you know, give her some room over there. And she'll have really all the room you want, but, one thing I wanna talk about is the pavement here. Now,
Exactly.
this thing is 27 feet. What I'm looking for is 15 feet. All the way down till you get to that curb to turn around. You can put in your curve to turn around, but all the way down, you can't pave half that yard, there's no way.
So you're talking about the driveway?
Yeah, driveway, I mean,
How wide is the driveway?
It's 12 feet
27.
at St. Germain,
Okay,
12 feet, and then it does a hammerhead to get the two-stall garage out and back
you
to,
got a 12 feet, what am I reading wrong here? I thought it was 27 feet.
no.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be paving over there, it's not,
Yeah.
it's 12 feet?
Yeah, it's
I'm
only 12
good,
feet
I'm
wide.
good, never mind, sorry, I take back that whole thing.
Okay.
Let's look at that, right?
The edge, I think that's the edge of pavement, right?
Yeah.
15 feet
yeah.
off.
Yeah, that was just created to allow, if you're in
What are we
the,
gonna have, a two-car highway right now?
Need a broken yellow line down the middle of it.
Jesus, yeah, there, that's,
so there'll
I
be
feel
15
better now.
feet
I have no
of
more
space
questions, those are the
between
questions that I
driveway
really,
and the property line?
I
yes.
really
So
had
if
to
you
go.
look, if you look at the front, that's what that 15
Yeah.
represents.
Okay.
Right, property line. Mr. Himmel, questions?
Oh, I have no questions. Mine was the same thing as yours.
Okay,
So,
I have a question on the lining up of the wood decks that you asked about.
yeah,
On this plan here, it doesn't line up with lot 10's wood deck, but it does line up with,
the they're different, you mean?
according to this.
It lines up with parcel 1101-62-2.
Correct.
You're not in line with lot 10 on your plan.
Right, so if we draw a line between them, it is, and I'll show you, what I have right here. So if I could approach, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah,
So what we did with this was we lined up the home with 20, and the reason being, this is the front of the house, to have visibility by this neighbor deck.
so you'd have visibility?
We would have visibility and they would have visibility, so there's two sets of sight lines on that plan.
But how do you say you're not taking away from his sight line from his deck?
From his deck on Fourth,
Yeah,
Lot 10, you're taking away his visibility.
right, but, there's a letter in the record from Fourth that was, in favor of this application.
You have a letter in favor from?
yeah, it's right,
Yes.
we have letters
Yes.
in the, I'll read them in the record, there's
Okay.
4 of them. But, so he's okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Looked at, what's his name? What was his name?
That came in late last night. I got it right here.
Mayor?
For St. Germain.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okey-dokey. I have no questions.
no questions.
No questions.
Barry?
What are you going to do with the site once you tear the house down? Is that going to be turned into lawn or grass?
Lawn.
Okay.
I'm good, thanks.
You can have a seat. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor? First call? Second call? Third call closed. Have a letter here, from DPW,
Oh, good, one
has to be
page.
followed, 1 page.
I'll read. Number 10, St. Germain Street, case number ZBA 24-43. We reviewed the submittal of the above referenced project on comments are as follows. Number 1, specify how much impervious area will be increased due to development. Number 2, provide utility plans, erosion control plan, grading plan for review before issuance of building permit. Number 3, explain how the surface runoff will be discharged and treated. Number 4, upon completion of the project, as-built plan showing all utilities, building footprint needs to be submitted along with a digital file. Elevation certificate should also be submitted if the property is in the flood zone.
Our public hearing closed. Is there anyone opposed or on the side? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please. Yeah, yeah, if you could hold on 1 second, I missed these letters, I want them read in, because they're in favor. You can stand there, we're only gonna be a second. 4 letters.
Hello, Ms. New. I'm the owner resident, 28 Prescott Terrace in Quincy, one of the near abutters. I've received a notice, ZBA variance meeting for July 9th, 6 PM for the project plan at number 10 St. Germain Street. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the meeting, but I want to add a voice of support for the project. Improvements in our small neighborhood are to be encouraged and supported, especially if the plan looks at providing more off-street parking for the residents and visitors to the property. Thank you, Ms. Marceau, 28 Prescott Terrace, Quincy, Mass. My name is Erica Wutia, and the property owner 9 St. Germain Street, Quincy, Mass. I received a letter from the city of Quincy notifying about the new house construction that will be occurring in number 10 St. Germain. I'm writing this letter in support of the new house to be built. I've been living in this neighborhood for over 10 years and just want to put a good word for Dale Houseman, who lives directly across the street. Dale's always been a great neighbor, and I fully support him in building the new house. Update our neighborhood. Best, Eric Bouger. My name is Barit Nair. Me and my wife, Vina Nair, are residents number 4 St. Germain Street. Received a letter from the zoning board regarding Mr. Dale Houseman, case number ZBA 2443. We are next door neighbors. Dale's property on the right while facing the street. I'm writing to express our wholehearted support for the variance request submitted by Dale Houseman, construct a new home, number 10 St. Germain Street. Good evening, Mr. Conlon. Reference ZBA 2443, Dale Houseman, number 10 Germain Street. Because of variance to construct a residential dwelling with 2-stall attached garage. We are neighbors of Mr. Houseman for approximately 9 years. Mr. Houseman, a very good neighbor, who is considerate, respectful to his neighbors. My understanding of this matter is that Mr. Houseman owns the property, number 10 Germain, with presently a small home that is dated, need some repair. Mr. Houseman would like to build a newer home on the same property, then raise the current house. Please be advised that we support Mr. Houseman in this project and look forward to seeing a new home on the property and the old house raised at number 10 St. Germain Street.
Okay. Board part of the hearing closed. Name and address for the record, please.
Joris van Dam, 20 St. Germain Street in Quincy, the neighbor to the south.
Yep. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, let me first, also, as the letters were saying, good, we consider Dale great neighbors. We've been living there for 7 years, 6 years in Maryland before that. We're very happy to see that Dale is building a new property. He's been talking about that for 7 years, so we're very happy to see that come to fruition. So we're fully in support of that. It will upgrade the neighborhood. It will upgrade Dale's property, fully supportive of a new property. What we're not supportive of is the plan. When we saw it, we raised some questions and concerns with our attorney Ed Fleming. Ed has contacted the architect, I'm sorry, I forgot the name, on numerous occasions. Did not want to discuss moving the plan with even an inch. The most that we got after more than 3, I forgot whether it was 3 or more, was come to our house and we'll explain why this is amazing. We don't think that's reasonable. We completely, and again, want him to build a house. It will do wonders for the neighborhood and for the property.
So what do you want, back more?
We want in line. This is not in line. You can draw lines any way you want. This is not in line because this is on top of it. And particularly the line from the decks, the waters go this way. So it is directly between us, and not directly, but it is substantially between us and the water. So the conversation we would like to engage in with Dale and his architect is, can we revisit those lines and move it back a little bit?
I thought he said he moved it 10 feet. I thought they already moved it 10 feet.
You can say that.
I'm just saying, I don't know. That's what I was told.
I don't know either. They came up with that
Oh.
after whatever, and they showed us some photos from 2017, and they said, maybe you could take down some trees on the other end of your property to improve your views. I mean, come on, that's not reasonable. We would like to engage in a reasonable conversation with Dale and his architect to look at the lines, and we are asking that he moves it back a little bit so that we.
What are you looking for? What's a little bit?
I haven't done the calculation, I'm sorry, not an architect.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, like, if you think the decks aren't even, how far
So
do you want
here's,
that?
well, I'm just gonna throw out a suggestion. In line, right? Draw a line from our deck to the north neighbor deck, that's a line, bring the line. It's way over.
But that line will go that way.
Yeah, but then we have equal views to the beautiful area, right? We don't.
It comes down in an angle, like, I know what you're saying. But
Yes.
but the wall is straight almost.
Sorry, which wall?
The wall up front of your house is the beach. Beach is like
It's not
straight.
it's from this way.
Yeah, but, right, and you're on that side, right?
We're
You're
here.
right there, exactly. Exactly, and you get that whole corner side too, right? You get all the way around. So
You mean
what
the-
what
are you losing? I don't know what you're losing.
Can I say something?
No, you can't. So if your decks are the same,
Yeah.
what's wrong with
The
that?
decks aren't the same. The line, this is the line, right? And if you draw a line from here to there, it's over the line. So all you ask is to move it back a little bit so that it is in line.
What, like 2 feet?
It could very well be only 2 feet. I apologize, I don't know.
It almost looks like yours is ahead of his on this already. It's not even, if I took a line from here to here, it's in an angle anyway, but probably only about 4.
We're not asking to move it back by another 10 feet. We're asking to sit together, to move it in line. We're fully
Can
supportive.
I ask why you haven't sat with your neighbor? When you
Because the
planted?
feedback that our attorney got was, no, he doesn't want to sit.
Now
and
your
he doesn't want
attorney,
to
how
move
come,
an
if you tell me you two get along and you're a really great guy and I like the guy, you can't walk next door and talk to him about this?
inch. We did not know about the plans
Oh.
until we read about it in the Quincy Sun.
And that
He
was
did not
2
tell
weeks,
us.
3 weeks, what was
You,
that?
you,
Three
no, no,
weeks
no,
ago.
no. The letter came after, sorry, the letter came after the Quincy Sun. We read it in the Quincy Sun. We immediately contacted Ed because we didn't understand why Dale didn't talk to us.
All right.
And we're not the experts here, so we thought
Is
that
Dale here?
Ed could help.
Yes.
I can't see him. Oh. What happened here that you guys couldn't sit down together? Not the architect, I didn't ask you, sir.
All I know is that, the letters went on like this, I didn't know I was gonna build a house, matter of fact, I told him where I wanted to put that house. I hired Manny to come up and look at the property, he came up, I said, I want to put the house as far as possible up as I can.
Right.
He came up, showed it to me, I said, it's a little too far up, let's move it back, so then my neighbors can still have a view. It's gonna be equal, so if you actually took a wall, put it right down the property line, we'd have the exact same view, right down the property line, and it would still be, they'll still have the view to the right, I'll have my view to the right, and they'll have their view to the left. So they have pretty much the same view.
Ma'am, I'll let you speak when it's time. Believe me, I'll let everyone here speak. If everyone wants to speak, they can. But we have to have an orderly meeting. We really do. We can't have people going back and forth, back and forth.
And to be honest with
That's
you,
why we run a meeting like this.
I'm very surprised they didn't come talk to me, even Savari, when he built his house, he put up a fence, he called me up, texted me, I should say, said, listen, I'm gonna be putting up a fence, do you mind if I do this? I said, no, it's your property, whatever you like. So, but I never heard anything from my neighbors.
You'll have time. Calm down, everybody. Everyone calm down. Take a breath.
And like I said, I thought it was very fair that porches would line up pretty much exactly the same. There's gonna be a fence there anyway, so she'll have her privacy, they'll have their privacy, I'll have mine. So, and I thought it was pretty fair that straight down, you have the exact same view.
All right. And you told them that? You sat down with them, or you just did it with your architect?
As soon as they got a lawyer, I couldn't talk to them.
You're good.
Why couldn't I talk to me on a lawyer?
You told the lawyer you didn't want to talk, and you
No, that's not true.
All right, all right.
We have the email.
Someone's gonna leave here, and it's not gonna be me. All right? All right. Now, sir, you have the floor. I just interrupt you for 1 minute to ask him a question why. Now I understand. You finish what you'd like to say. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, that's all, I only wanted to respond, we're willing to talk. I'm sorry if Dale got
Right.
the wrong impression, or if his architect got the wrong impression. We thought it was a very nice email. Again, we're not experts, so we didn't know how to talk. We don't know what the variances mean, and so on and so forth, so that's why we
So
consulted.
here's what we'll do, since you guys haven't talked. Well, when we put it off to the next meeting, the 9th or 13th, and if they can't come to agreement, we make a decision.
That's 24.
July 23rd, and it was a 12, 14 weeks.
7:23?
Yeah. Is that fair with everybody? You want to speak, architect, come on up.
Yeah, can I
I
just,
still want to hear from the rest of the neighbors. I'm not done
shed
yet.
some light on that?
I just want to see if they'd agree to that.
So to say there was no conversation is definitely wrong. On June 28th, I got an email from an attorney representing.
Yep,
I called him on the phone, we talked through it, and I did 2 different exhibits for this attorney, and we had a lot of back and forth on where the house is located and why it's located.
yep.
What I showed the attorney on July 1st, and then he stopped responding to me. Are these views from that house? These views were pulled from Zillow. So when this homeowner bought this house, these were the views they seen from Zillow. One thing I want to make sure the board understands, down the property line was a heavy tree line. So there was no visibility to the left of their deck.
You
Mr.
had a
Dale,
big giant tree in the middle and the
Correct.
back, and you had a big one in the
he
middle.
had some trees that they were saddened,
were dead.
they needed to be come down, and he did this in anticipation of this application. So if you look at any of these little plans, there's no view to the left. And what I'm showing you here, when we line the houses up, they still have that view. So,
All right, I get what you're saying, thank you.
okay.
Is there anyone else opposed or undecided? Step forward, name and address for the record, please.
My name is Pascal.
Wait a minute, we got a microphone right there,
Oh.
thanks.
My name is Pascal Hubert. I live at 20 St. Germain Street.
Okay,
And the issue, the issue is, we live here, that's them, that's number 4, Sabai. The ocean is here.
I know
So
exactly.
the view is there. They are talking about a view, there is nothing to see there. The view is over here.
But you know
And
what?
if-
Okay, good.
If he builds next to us now, we are from the living room, from everywhere. We bought a house with those views. And I get it that he wants to build and that we have to compromise. I get it. But we have no more privacies now building next to us. And now we will have to look at his wall. And okay, we will still have front view, but he will have also front view and he will also have all this. And the only thing
But
that
he
we
owns that
ask
lot.
is that he moves a little
He
bit.
has a
his
6-foot
porch a little-
fence all the way down, 4-foot fence, or 6-foot fence, all the way down to the water on his left.
No.
Yeah, it
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
goes right to the beach line.
No, 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 it doesn't.
I was there today.
Yeah,
I
no,
walked the
no,
whole
it
thing.
goes down.
It goes to 8
No, no.
feet, then it goes down to 6
And then
feet.
it goes down.
Yeah,
Yes, so,
yeah,
so,
and then it goes down to
That's
6 feet. It goes
that's
down
it.
here, and it goes down past his patio.
that is the porch of Sabah, of
Yep.
number 4. If he puts his porch here, just here, a little bit, he's still in front of him.
All right, I hear what you're saying. So we're not gonna sit here and argue all night about the same thing. It's gone back and forth. I understand what you're saying. Is there anything else? Okay, thank you for your time. Is there anyone else?
I got a question. I live in 22.
Please step up, name and address. You gotta do it on the mic, sir.
I live in 22, opposite of 20.
Name and address for the record.
Trevor Allen,
I-
22
I
Century.
Have a microphone there.
You can hear me
Okay,
from here.
yeah, but we gotta keep on the
22,
record.
Trevor Allen, 22 St. Germain Street.
Thank you.
And I'm hearing you guys talking about paving and basements and all of this stuff. I want to know, is that going to change the floodplain
No,
and the drainage around there?
No.
Because the water does come up
Right.
sometimes. You saying no? You sure
they
about
know,
that?
if there was, they would ask for dry wells and all that stuff. They
Okay,
didn't. CPW, that's what they would ask for.
okay, so you're saying no. What's your name? again?
Flood zone, Martin Akins.
Martin Akins.
Thank you. Now, is there anyone else? Last call? All right, and here's how we gotta start thinking. I know you people are upset, but you don't own that property and you don't own the view. He owns the property, he owns the view. You could have bought that property and sold your property. You could have done that. So that's the way I look at it. I had a perfect view of Raccoon Island to Boston. Guy in front of me builds a house. I went over and asked him, can you do me a favor and please give me just a hip roof at least? So I could still get some of my ocean back? And he did. But the house took away everything, Pettix Island, the whole thing. Was I upset? No. I sat here and approved it. Why? Because I didn't buy that lot. That's his lot. He owns it. If I wanted it, I could have bought it. I tried to buy it, but that didn't work anyway. Then there's another 2 houses up. took away another part of the ocean. That's life. You either buy in front or you don't get, and you got the lot of you. So here's what we're gonna do for you, only because I think you're a good guy and you two are neighbors and you're gonna live together beside each other, and I don't wanna see fences up and someone hating everyone for the rest of your life. The board agreed, we'll move this to the 23rd, you two sit down. You don't need your lawyer, sit down with the guy and try to figure it out. Your lawyer ain't gonna help you. He's gonna do nothing but interfere and probably piss him off with that, right? Really, think about it. You two are neighbors, sit down, try to figure it out. You can move it back 2 feet, maybe that's all you need. Have a motion for the 23rd, please. I get it, people get frustrated, believe me.
ZBA 24-43, manual paper variance to construct two-story residential dwelling with attached two-stall garage upon completion demolish existing residential dwelling on the premise number 10, St. Germain Street, Quincy. Make a motion to extend to July 23rd, 2024.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. We're gonna have a busy 24. Further under tonight, ZBA 2444, Jeffrey Hannon for variance finding special permit floodplain to demolish the existing non-compliant single-family dwelling, construct a flood-compliant single-family dwelling
Sorry.
with the roof deck on the premises. 153 Edgewater Drive. The applicant, the representative here.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Brian LaRoche, 67 Mears Ave, Quincy, Mass. 02169. Bear with me while I get this.
They're both lost.
I get them upset. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Is the,
That could be a lot. Oh, you got some done tonight, didn't you?
it's right before.
I'm sorry, I should have gotten up and did it while they were speaking.
All set.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he told me. And he just said that something's supposed to do.
Now.
Yeah, I was here last week. I just, is that USB direct to the wall?
This is directly from the computer.
Yeah, it worked the other day,
It's
so.
the same lines that we've always used. What's wrong?
All right, kick it, Brian.
I suspected this was gonna happen.
Boy Scout, always prepared.
Eagle Scout. Eagle Scout. Not Boy Scout, Eagle Scout.
They work conservation. They're gonna-
Famous last words, I know this will work.
Well, this is true. Who knows?
We have no arguments about view, do we?
I don't think so.
I'm not, oh, God.
Still level? This one is, I think it's the.
That's why paper works.
Left wall.
Right here, and you see. You see that, it could be distorted, you know what I mean?
Up. There you go.
See the view? Wait a minute, that ain't the view I was there. I can't. That's backwards. See the mirror of the car? It's backwards.
Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, sorry about that.
Sound like that's right. License plate backwards. That was fun.
All right, so again, Brian LaRose, 67 Mears Ave, here tonight to represent the applicant for 153 Edgewater Drive. This property is located within a flood zone, so we're here tonight to ask for a special permit due to the floodplain overlay district. We're going to be asking as well for a few variances and findings, and I'll get to those in just a moment. Let me first just orientate you to where we are. This is Edgewater Drive, which is right opposite Rock Island. And then Rock Island Road runs just to the left. This is in Howe's Neck. And is on the other side of the road of Edgewater. To the rear, there are some areas of low-lying that take floodwater during storm events. There is a creek that runs adjacent to these properties that has a tidal gate that runs right in beside the neighbor's house and into the back. So the property has two flood zones on it, AE 11 and AE 12. We're designing the project fully for AE 12 with a design flood elevation of 13. This is the existing lot on the property. We'll be removing the existing dwelling entirely. The footprint of the existing is 1,100 square feet. And that is impervious on the site as it exists. We're going to propose a similar footprint, 1,100 feet. And I'll talk to you in just a moment about some recent revisions that we made after we met with 3 of the neighbors. And I'll get to that in just a moment. So the project will have a driveway to the front, and we are holding in, it's a 50-foot wide lot. We're going to respect the 13-foot setbacks left and right. And for the front, we're holding it back 20 feet. The other properties on either side, as you can see from this, are forward. So we'll be set back a little bit further back. So almost everything along Edgewater comes nearly to the road, about 5 feet back. So we're going to be 20. And that's so that we can fit a...
2 more cars out front?
2 cars,
There you go.
yep. We did have, there's a letter in your packet, and I'm going to address some of these comments here. This is the neighbors to the right, the Trahans. They had a friend of theirs who was a civil engineer who reviewed the project for them. And I honestly, I think did a fantastic job reviewing the project. A lot of great comments, and based on the feedback we received from them, we made some revisions, and I'm going to present those to you now. One of the first things that we did at the front is we changed the driveway width. Originally, we had proposed a 25-foot wide driveway, or 24 rather, to line up with the house. We've modified it to be 18 feet wide. And so one, we made it smaller. We've added a landscape area to the left. And you can see that here. This is like a seashell planting area with some salt grasses, ornamental salt grasses. So we've added that to the front. And then the other thing we did is the infiltration basins that we have, the Cultec system, we had that on the opposite side of the property over here, adjacent to their property. Mm-hmm. What they acknowledged in the review letter is that up gradient on the property is in this front left corner, and the grade sort of goes off down and to the right. So they wanted to make sure that we were infiltrating water on our property and had the greatest chance for it to infiltrate before it crossed their property. We agreed, and we flipped that onto the other side. We have all the downspouts tied into the system, and we put a trench drain across the front of the driveway to collect. We also changed the driveway from a bituminous pavement to pervious pavers to allow for that area to infiltrate so that we were not increasing the impervious area of the lot. The other thing that we did to the rear, because of the grade change, it drops off to the rear. The client wanted to put an overhead door for a couple of reasons. One, to sort of facilitate during flood events, to let the water just run through, for bringing the lawnmower out the back, or if they wanted to store kayaks or whatnot, or just have like a party. They don't have any decks or patios to the rear, so the thought was the garage could sort of double as like a gathering area. We had a ramp off the back, so we removed that. So that removed all of the impervious of that ramp. So that was another change that we made to the project. Again, all in response to our sitting down with neighbors and reviewing their engineering comments, which you'll read into the record, I'm sure, are excellent. Another thing that they noted in our design is that because the grade from the street is the highest and drops off, the dash line that I added to the drawing here is the slab of the garage. And there's a volume that we were filling underneath the slab, and they told us that, you know, we're displacing that much stormwater in a flood event during an ocean storm. And so they wanted to make sure that we didn't increase any of that on our site. So in order to do that, we added flood vent below the slab to the rear. So we added a flood vent on both sides and the rear. And we're going to backfill the underslab with crushed stone to facilitate flooding to go in so that we're not increasing any stormwater and pushing it off of our site. So that we did do as well. So what we're proposing is a 3-story building, flat roof with a roof deck. And we're asking for a variance on the number of stories. Again, our hardship is because we're in a floodplain overlay district. With an AE 12, we have to elevate the first floor. At that point, we're so close, it's just easier to go a little further and make it a garage and make it usable for storage rather than just have a crawl space that's unusable. So that causes the lowest level that's unoccupiable to become a story. So that's why we're asking for relief on 3. We're going to be asking for a finding as well. One of the comments that the engineer had in his review is the head house asked whether it was a story or not. Our feeling is that this is an appurtenance. It's strictly for getting up to the roof. Although in the depiction here, it looks like it's a solid volume, just because of the connection of the trellis, we made this a wall. But it's actually a sloped roof with a very short, small amount of roof. It's no more than the landing at the top and the door to get out. It's a very small area. And like a bay, a chimney, or things like that, in the zoning ordinance, things of that nature we felt would be an appurtenance. So we aren't asking or counting that as a story, and we hope that you would grant us a finding that it's not. The other thing that we're asking for, let me just get my notes here. We had in our request the paving at the front, paving in the front yard, the width of the paving originally, as I mentioned, we had 48% coverage, 30 was allowable. With the changes that we made, we're now down to 36 coverage. So we still need a variance for the paving in front yard. But we did, from what we originally presented to you, we have reduced it so that the driveway is 18 feet wide. And then the last is just a finding on the lot area and frontage. It's a pre-existing non-conforming lot. The existing lot's 5,000 square feet and the frontage is 50 feet. And just to ensure that we acknowledge that. And with that, that's our presentation. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
The top piece coming out there, what do you got, 36-inch door, so what do you got, like 42 inches wide is that? How wide is that up top? 48?
I have to switch out of into PDF to get to that.
Set of stairs going up with the door on it.
Yep. I don't have a dimension on it, but it's the width of the stair is 3'6". So I believe it's 3'6" by 42.
All right.
That's the landing, and that's the only area that has the flat roof. After that,
Right,
the
if
roof
it's
follows
down,
the stair going
right.
down. I only have a straight wall. I've only kept this straight above that sloped roof so that I can attach the trellis to it. So in the elevations, it kind of reads as a volume.
Yeah, and it's
But
really not, it's going up,
Correct.
like a set of stairs going up on an angle, correct?
Wow. Kate, I got the PDF to work.
I looked at, it. So you worked out with your neighbors and you did a lot, so all your neighbors are happy.
On the right side, we met with, on the I don't want to say we met with all the neighbors, I don't want to, but the Trahans, there's 3 sisters that live to the right, and we met with them. And again, we went through the review comments of their engineer, which were excellent. We thought they were spot on. So we responded to that and made some changes. We had an excellent meeting with them, and I think they'll talk tonight in support of the project. We did receive some engineering comments. This is the city engineer. 2 comments, they're minor. The utility plan, we will add utilities to our drawings for building permit submission.
Yep.
Our drawings do cover erosion control. That's some other things were noted by their engineer. We adjusted some of the placement of the erosion controls so that it covered the entire right-hand property edge.
You gonna put like a berm going down there?
We only had it at sort of the midpoint down around the back because that's where the flow of the water was. They asked if we could extend it all the way to the road. No problem. So we made that adjustment.
So it's like 3/4 of the way down?
Yeah, correct.
You're gonna put a berm going down?
We're going to use silt socks that are towed in with a silt fence along the side. And then as-built plans, which will be done during construction. So we will accommodate those comments of the city engineer.
And what do you got in your backyard? 34?
30, let's see. Just put that drawing up for you. 34 feet to the building. Yep, we don't have any decks or anything off the back, so that's to the face of the
All your
building.
sites up top, right?
Yep.
No, the only question I had was that roof deck and the stairs going up to it instead of like a little railing and a pop-up, but I can live with that. I like the way it's designed. Keep the women from getting soaked. I don't care about you, Brian. Where'd you go?
I'm here.
I'm from there.
I have any questions? Just, Kimmel, any?
No, I like the fact that you got rid of the asphalt, put some pavement.
Yeah, cleaned up the back,
Yeah.
took the ramp out.
And you got your silt
Culture.
fences, which are going all the way to it.
Mhm.
3/4 of the way down, Brian?
We had it all, we had it down all the way. This line is we're gonna have a silt fence and a silt sock go around the perimeter. The Trahan's neighbors are on this side. The gradient kind of goes in this direction.
Yep.
We had only covered the erosion controls to about this point. They asked us to extend it to the front, which we did.
Are you going all the way down now?
Yeah.
Yep, all the way to the front, around the back and over.
Good.
As I said, all the grade goes this
Yeah,
direction.
all the, in her yard there. Any
No
questions?
questions.
No questions.
Thank you.
I'm good. Thank you.
James, see, full rights. Is there anyone want to speak in favor?
Hi, my name's Mary Trahan. I'm representing the Trahan people on the right. We own 4 pieces of property there, very small pieces of property, 143, 143R, 147, and 149. And we all are in complete support of this. We met with Brian, he sat with us. We had spoken to an engineer that we knew, because if you've looked at the property,
Right.
we get flooded a lot.
Yeah.
And it's going from a single
It goes on.
cottage
Yeah.
to this
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful building. And so we were fearful, and so when he looked through the plans, he made some suggestions, some very, very good suggestions. And I have to say, Brian was wonderful. He listened to us, he made it easy for us. Everything he said, the modifications, I have it all written on all these notes and everything. I think for us, this is gonna be perfect. So we're in complete support of it. As long as all this stuff happens,
No decks, no one looking down at you.
I'm gonna keep my curtains, they really don't like that, they freak out. Yeah, but, I think it's gonna really help the neighborhood. That cottage has been there 60, 70 years, even more, I think.
Still there.
Yeah, and so, it's a big change for us, and so we were fearful.
Yeah,
We really
right.
were fearful about it. But Brian.
Edgewater Drive changing the whole way down.
Oh,
Isn't it?
It's amazing. It's
You
amazing,
know,
right?
There's 2 little houses and then there's another one, another one, another one.
It's amazing. It really is, but it's
It's
the
pretty.
gem of
It
the
looks
world.
pretty, though,
It's a gem
really.
of the world, so, we support it. We'll be watching it, but we thank him for making all the modifications, because he did make a lot of modifications after our meeting.
If there's anything you don't like, you see what the builder's doing, just call
Okay,
Mr. Conlon and he'll send them right down.
okay. Thank you, I appreciate it. But we, all of us, 143, 143R, 147, 149.
Very good.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else want to speak in favor? Second call?
May I interject something? I'd like to say, I'm in favor of it also, but I'm also an adjacent neighbor.
All right, I'll let you speak, 1 minute. You're kind of opposed, but you're on the side, right?
I'm not opposed to it.
So come on up here, name and address if you're somewhere in the middle here.
I'm in the middle.
I don't know.
Hi,
I just got a microphone, we have to speak.
All right, my name is David Hemingway. I live at 9 Frecker Road. We own 9 and 15 Frecker.
That's in the back.
We're in the back.
Yeah.
And we're on the other side, where they're putting in the silica, or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call the barrier. We would hope that we'd get the same type of treatment on the other side of the house.
That's what he's doing.
Okay, if it's on
All
both
the way
sides,
in
I
the,
got
see,
no
it's
problem.
going all the way in the back, you're way over there, all the way in the back, and then halfway up this side.
Okay.
From here, all the way around the property, see it?
Yeah, okay.
So you're not getting any.
As long as I get no runoff, I
Yeah.
have no problem with anything.
Right.
I think the house would be a great addition to the property.
Yeah.
And I have nothing bad to say about the design or how it would be, the
You get
amount
the
of time
same
and
treatment
effort
as
they
they
put in.
do, right?
That's basically it. I just want to say one thing.
Yep.
We have approximately 18 storm drains that go into a real small area
Mm-hmm.
for the water retention area that's really overburdened. That's what I'm
Yeah.
concerned with.
I know, and a little sort of creek that runs over by your house and
Yeah.
down too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Water goes everywhere over there, you know, once bad rain.
Weird little creek, right?
Yeah, that little thing that goes under the road there, it's like, it's gonna get sucked into that thing. Is there anyone else want to speak? Nope. Last call part of the hearing closed. I have a letter here from the DPW, we'll read into the record.
We received, okay, excuse me, 153 Edgewater Drive, case number ZBA 2444. We have reviewed the submittal for the above referenced project, and our comments are as follows. Number one, provide utility plan, erosion control plan, grading plan for review before issuance of building permit. Number two, upon completion of the project, as-built plans showing all utility, building footprint need to be submitted along with a digital file. An elevation certificate should also be submitted if the property is in the flood zone.
I have a letter here, I just wanted to, I was talking to, Mr. McCarthy a couple times on this piece of property. We went back and forth a couple times. Wanted to make sure that the neighbors were taken care of over there, and he wrote a letter, so why don't we read it into?
153 Edgewater Drive, ZBA 2444, David McCarthy. Board members, I'd like to put my support behind 153 Edgewater Drive project. Matt Logan, one of the partners, a longtime neighbor to the area, quite familiar with the neighbors, street, etc. Jeff Hannon, the principal partner, longtime Quincy resident, cares about the city and any project he's involved in. Proposed new single-family replaces a summer cottage in need of repair and compliance to the area issues, water, marshlands, etc. The new structure, I believe, not only brightens up the magnificent street, but complies with your requirements. I know they will work with the abutting neighbors to make sure this irregular lot herships are attended to. Thank you. David McCarthy, Ward 1 Councilor.
Close. Anyone opposed or undecided? Opposed or undecided? You can speak, man, name and address. You gotta come up though. We can get you in the microphone.
Hi, my name's Alice Hemingway. I live at 9 Frecker Road, and we own 9 Frecker and 15 Frecker Road. Most important thing, one of the most important things to us is that there's no bill is brought in, because that will just affect our property.
He's not doing that.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No,
Okay.
just digging, putting that little slab down, and then he's got the outs, he's got his filtration system, so no water goes off the property, we hope.
Yeah, because that was my big question, was, the other one was, where was the water going to drain to? There,
There's a cul-de-sac, see the front of that, where the driveway is to the left, there's a big cul-de-sac that holds all the water when it rains, and then it disperses very slowly, right there, that whole thing.
oh, okay. Okay,
All drains go into that.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last call? Call it part of the hearing closed. I have, I think, Mr. LaRoche, you did another fine job. Very nice looking property. That deck is, I know it's where it is. I'll say yeah, because it's where it is. Because it's really almost a fourth floor, but we'll make it as a finding and try to see if we can't do it that way, but I'm still in favor of it's a small piece up there. And there's no decks on the property, so with that, I would say okay. Any comments?
I'm in favor as well.
I do see 3 decks though.
In the front, yes.
Yeah.
It's in the back, there's not.
I'm saying in the back, going toward the
Okay,
people. I was
nothing there.
worrying about that someone was want to go out in the back and sun and people looking over other people. Kind of makes you feel weird. I know when I go on my deck, like the neighbor, they don't use the yacht. They're so old, they just don't. They stay in the air conditioning. I never see them. I call his brother. I go, is your brother okay? I haven't seen him in like 5 months. I see the light go on and off up there in the stairwell. It's automatic. I can tell you when it goes on, when it goes off. I can rob the place anytime I want to, you'd think. They're in there. He goes, no, they're still there. They're alive. Marty, really? I go, I don't see them. They're not a,
That could be a good thing.
oh, yeah. No, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. The only time I see him is July 4th. He has a big party. There's 100 people there. And all of a sudden the windows close again. That's it. I go, oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. So, all right, there's one. Barry,
In favor.
Yeah, oh, good.
we have a motion, please.
Excuse me. ZBA 24-44, Jeffrey Hannon for variance finding permit flood zone plan to demolish the existing non-flood compliant single-family dwelling, construct a flood compliant single-family dwelling with roof deck on the premise numbered 153 Edgewater Drive, Quincy, Massachusetts. Make a motion to accept as presented.
Seconded.
On the motion, seeing any? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Good job.